It's gonna be a good game, though.
Yeah.
Very good game.
Okay.
Sure.
Rock and roll, ladies.
You want me to go without Clay?
Hello.
I have to.
Hi,
Who is-
Rob.
Who is that?
It's our guy on Teams. There he
Yeah.
is.
There we
Oh,
go.
hello.
Hello. Hello. The voice from nowhere.
Yes.
That can be scary.
Um,
Thank you for letting us join you virtually this morning.
you bet.
If
I'm
you'll
gonna
give
call-
us just a second, we'll get our meeting called into order, right? And
You
then
would be quiet. I'll be happy to call this.
I was asking Robert to be
I'm
quiet.
sorry?
I was asking Robert to be quiet for a minute so you could get started. I was trying to do that for you.
Oh, you're so sweet. You want to call the meeting to order?
No, I don't.
Call this meeting to order. If you would follow along with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Artie, would you provide a prayer, please? Would you give an invocation?
Father God, we come before your throne this morning with great praise and thanksgiving that we can meet freely and, Lord, that we can discuss the needs and the concerns of our community and our city. We just pray now, Lord, that you be with us, that your Spirit hover over us, guide us and direct us, and let us do all things to honor you, glorify your name, and build your kingdom.
Thank you, Artie. Madam Clerk, we get a roll call vote, please?
Milton.
Here.
Steph. Cooper. Lucas. Black. Cook. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. So, the first item on the agenda is Haley.
Haley. Good morning.
You
We're-
just take over.
Okay. We're here today to talk about our insurance renewal for next year, 2025. As you're aware, we've selected a new broker, which is Lockton. So here virtually we have Robert and Marshall, as well as Whitney and Allison. And they'll be discussing our renewal and where our rates are and what our increases are and all of those things with you. But as a reminder, I kind of want to talk about why we have the increase in renewal that you're about to see. And most of that is due to our high utilization. So we've had about 158, 160% utilization on our plan, which is extremely high. We are very fortunate that Cigna has come back with what we feel like is a reasonable renewal. We did go through 3 different plan options, looking at ways we could reduce some of that cost without impacting our staff too incredibly much. Kim and I then did make a few changes to one of the plans, which is what you'll see presented to you today, and what we feel like is probably our best solution moving forward. So with that, I'll let Lockton take over and do their piece. And please ask questions as we go, as I know all of you will. Thank you so much.
You have to use a microphone, Artie. Oh. If you don't mind.
Yes.
Number one, why did you change brokers?
We were not having great service with our prior broker. So we were, Kim and I were doing a lot of reactive type of work with them instead of proactive work. We weren't necessarily getting utilization reports without us prodding and poking and digging. We were having some problems with billing issues that Lockton has already fixed for us and helped us find solutions and work with those carriers in a different way. So it was truly just a lack of service more than anything. It had nothing to do with cost or rates or anything like that. It was truly just, we pay these people a nice amount of money to help us. And I didn't feel like we were getting our best use of those monies. So we met with 5 different broker agencies and truly felt that Lockton had our best interest in mind and is who we wanted to partner with.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Yeah, you're
And you said that you were going to remain with Cigna. Did you look at other companies
we actually, Anthem chose not to quote us this year.
because of your utilization?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will go back out to market next year, of course. We'll go every year unless we, for some reason, had a decrease, right, option. But we will always go to market, but I can't control who's willing to provide a quote to us, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm familiar with Lofton. I've used them in the past, so.
Yeah, they're great. We've been so impressed and happy with them so far. The communication has been 10 times better than we had with our prior broker already. So just in the short amount of time, we're already feeling a huge impact and difference. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Whitney Pomeroy, and I'm with Lockton. I am the City of Branson's main day-to-day contact at Lockton, and I have been at Lockton for almost 18 and a half years now, so happy to be here. And then I've got this clicker here. All right, so as Haley mentioned, we had our renewal meeting with them last week, and this is just, will be a summary of everything that we talked about last week and the decisions that have been made. So we'll go through the renewal calendar, medical renewal, and then the dental renewal and marketing effort. Okay. All right, so here's a quick renewal calendar. We have your line of coverage, followed by what carrier that line of coverage is partnered with, and then the next renewal date. So you can see that all of your lines of coverage are currently under rate guarantee, which means you won't receive a rate increase or a rate decrease until that next renewal. So really, we focused on the medical plan for this renewal. So before I jump into the actual renewal, I kind of like to set the stage on where your plan utilization has been in the past. So I have 2022 with Anthem data, followed by 2023 data with Gravy, and then year-to-date with Cigna, which includes data through September. So we like to look at your average enrollment. As you can see, it's increased year over year. Year-to-date, you're at 11% increase in enrollment. For membership, that is not only employees, but also your dependents and children as well. Your membership has increased 9% from the previous year. Your gross medical claims on a per employee per month basis, that's what the PEPM stands for, has decreased 14% from the prior year, which is great. We like to look at claims data on a per employee per month basis because it helps to normalize that data as your enrollment increases. Then your gross pharmacy claims on a per employee per month basis have increased just 3% so far year to date. But then if we go back kind of towards the middle column, you can see that with the change from Anthem to Gravy, those percentage changes went way, way up when the city was with Gravy. So now we feel like the data is finally, or your utilization is normalizing, but you will see that slight increase that I'll go through on the next slide. So then we total your medical and pharmacy claims on a per employee per month basis, and you can see that change is 9% from the previous year. And then your total plan costs have increased 13%. And then at the very bottom, we've got large claims year-to-date through September. Large claims we categorize as any one claimant who has total claims over $50,000. So year-to-date, there are 12 claimants exceeding that threshold, totaling $1.1 million. And then there is a specific deductible amount of $100,000. And what that means is any large claimant with totals over $100,000 will not go against your claims experience. So it's almost like it's like large claims insurance. Okay, it's a secondary insurance almost. So there are 4 claimants exceeding that specific deductible amount, totaling $194,000. So what this means is that the city has avoided paying $194,519 because of this stop-loss insurance. Okay?
So if it's over 100, you're not penalized for that, over
Correct.
100?
Yep, the city is not responsible for any large claimant over 100,000. So it caps out at 100,000. So the city has avoided paying that $194,519.
Do you have a reinsurance company that's backing up Anthem? I mean, not
Cigna.
Anthem, but Cigna?
What do you mean by because the reinsurance is with Cigna, and then every year, oh, sorry, go ahead.
The insurance is with Cigna.
Yes,
Okay. Reinsurance. Do you have a reinsurance company that's backing up Cigna for any large amounts?
oh, okay, so the Cigna product is a fully insured product. I mean, it's level funded, so it's kind of a mid between fully insured and self-funded. So it's technically a fully insured product, but it acts and walks and talks like a self-funded product.
Were the claims primarily employee claims or employee family member claims?
They're kind of all over the board. If my memory is correct, I want to say there's 60% of those large claimants are employees, and then the remainder, 40%, is dependents. All right, so now that we've kind of level set, let's go into our executive summary. This is a very high-level overview of the renewal. So the renewal based on your current plan designs is a combined 6.1% increase. So you know you have those 3 plans today. The combined increase for those 3 plans is plus 6.1, which equals just under $245,000 increase for 2025. Now, Cigna's calculation, when they go in and they do their own underwriting calculation, their increase calls for close to almost 40%. But because this is a new client to them, you all have only been with Cigna for 9 months, well, never mind, it's already November, 11 months. They decided to make a business decision and release a favorable renewal rather than going with a 30 to 40% increase. Yeah, they're trying to show their partnership. And then our projections, we also do our own underwriting methodology just to make sure the renewal is fair. So our increase, we would result in a 31.1% increase. So the 6.1% increase was very fair and very favorable. So then, as Haley mentioned, we wanted to look at some plan design changes. So as she mentioned, we provided 2 different plan design changes, but it might be a little bit too extreme for 2025. So you'll see on the next slide that there's small plan design tweaks that we're making, which results in the final 4.7% increase, which is equal to $185,407 to the city. And then, yeah, 4.7 is great. And then Anthem did decline to provide a proposal just because they couldn't get competitive. We could have pushed them to provide a renewal, but it would have been probably in the 30 to 40% range. So then here is a plan design comparison with the 2025 plans. These are just the PPO plans. So you have the base plan in the turquoise column, and then the buy-up plan on the right in the pink column. So you can see, hopefully you can see, there's a lot of numbers up there, but the only changes that the city will be making for 2025 is this urgent care copay will go from $0 up to $75. And then for prescription drugs down there at the bottom, generic drugs will be going from a $0 copay to a $10 copay. And then specialty drugs, right now, specialty drugs, depending on what tier they fall into, are either covered at a free copay or 75 or 100, but specialty drugs are very, very expensive. So the city decided let's move that copay up to $150 for specialty drugs. And there were, I believe, 9 employees who are currently taking, or 9 members who are currently taking specialty drugs. It could, yeah, 7 to 9.
Question,
Yes.
does the city pay the co-pays and deductibles for the employees and their families, or is that something that the employee pays?
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
No, you're good. Oh, yep.
We have $0 copays for most of your office visit. Is that what you're asking about? And then the deductibles are up there, the $4,000, $8,000. We do not pay that on your behalf, no. However, it's a really rich plan, right? So our coinsurance is at 100%. And then because we have so many $0 copays, I mean, you can see a specialist for a $0 copay. It also includes all of your behavioral health, so all your mental health specialists are included in that $0 copay. We didn't want to change that. I wanted to ensure that our people could get proper care, right, and see the people that needed to. The urgent care increase is really to help our people be more educated in their decisions of where they're going every day, right, to kind of avoid some of those urgent care emergency room visits that cause a huge increase on our plan costs. So, you know, if you can go see your doctor or do a virtual appointment, which is also free. I did one last year, maybe sometime this year. I was on the phone with a doctor and had my prescription ordered in like 12 minutes. It was the fastest thing ever. So really pushing people just to be better stewards of how they're using their dollars and our plan. Same thing with the prescription costs. So as you saw, the change to the gravy plan, there was hardly any cost for anything. So people were just really utilizing the plan. That's why you saw such high numbers there. So we're trying to get people back into that educated thought process of, is there a generic option for my prescription? Do I really need to go to urgent care? Can this be a virtual visit? All of those type of things without really impacting, them having to hit their deductible and out-of-pocket maxes before the plan really pays out. So we're trying to find a good balance in there somewhere.
Did you just mention virtual? Do you have virtual nurse on this or something that they can contact before they decide to go to urgent care?
Absolutely. And there's, I think, 2 different virtual options through Cigna. One is through like a subsidiary kind of option they have, and then they have nurses on call as well. So you kind of have both options, which is really nice. And again, for me, it took me longer to like sign up for the virtual visit than it did for my actual appointment. So it was super fast and easy and $0, which was great. Good?
Right, and then on the following slide, well, in a couple slides, I'll show you some normative data so that you can see how the city compares to other government entities. Okay, so those were the 2 PPO plans. On both plans, it'll just be that $75 urgent care copay and then the prescription drug copays. So then on the high deductible health plan with the HSA, due to IRS regulations, the deductible and out-of-pocket max will have to increase slightly for 2025 in order for the plan to be HSA compliant. So the deductible will go from $3,200 up to $3,300, and then for family, it'll go up to from $6,400 to $6,600. And then after the deductible is met, then the plan covers 100% of services for the remainder of the calendar year.
What's the deductible on the high plan?
On the, for the PPO plan, it is $1,250. Okay. So then we looked at the utilization year-to-date for deductible and out-of-pocket maximum amounts to see how many of your members, not just employees, but also members, have met or are close to meeting their deductible option, just to help us kind of make that decision for plan designs. So for the high deductible health plan, you can see that 46 members met between $1 and $199 of their deductible, and then 37 members met under $500, and then 21 people met between $500 and $1,000, and so forth. So far, year to date, 15 members have met that $3,200 deductible. Now, what this doesn't show is those members who have not met any portion of their deductible. So that means they haven't used their plan at all unless they've gone in for their preventive care. And then the base PPO, you can see, actually now I'm going from bottom to up, but 14 people have met that $4,000 deductible. And then I'm gonna go all the way to the top. 9 members have met under $200 of their deductible. And then finally, on the buy-up PPO, and this doesn't surprise me, that 24 members have met the $1,250 deductible. Usually people who are on the buy-up plan need the plan and they utilize that plan. So the fact that 24 members have met that so far year to date didn't surprise me there. Okay. So then the following slide, here's where we look at benchmarking data. So you can see the city of Branson, the base PPO plan is on the left. There's 148 employees enrolled. And then that middle column, that's the buy-up plan, 65 employees are enrolled. And then government services are on the right. So the government services includes 25 locked-in clients with 37 PPO plans. Okay. So you can see that the deductible for city of Branson is higher than the benchmark. But then if you go down to the out-of-pocket maximum, the base plan is right in line with government services, and then the buy-up plan is way lower than government services. But then the city of Branson doesn't have copays, right? It's free primary care specialist and urgent care visits currently, whereas the benchmarks are anywhere between $20 to $40 for primary care and specialist. ER, you all are at $250, whereas the benchmark is just under $200. And then for prescription drugs, you can see you have free generics, which is going up to $10, but the benchmark is $13 for government services. Okay. So yes, you're higher in some areas, but really competitive on the copays. And then for the high deductible health plan benchmarking, your deductible is $3,200 compared to the benchmark of about $2,300. Same with the family, you are at $6,400 compared with $4,700 for the benchmark, but then you have 100% coverage after you meet that deductible. Whereas government services benchmark, you still have to meet $4,100 for your out-of-pocket for single, and then $8,000, around $8,300 for family. So still a really great plan, very in line, if not lower than benchmarks. Okay. All right, any questions before we move on to dental? Okay. All right, so dental marketing, we were asked to go to some dental carriers just because I think maybe the Cigna network, well, yeah, it's been challenging, thank you. Yep, so we looked at Delta Dental, MetLife, and Guardian. Those are our 3 strongest dental carrier partners right now. But because you all have such a great fully insured rates with Cigna, none of the carriers could get competitive. Guardian and MetLife both declined. Delta Dental did provide a proposal, but they're at 28% increase. So, I mean, it's not worth it to move for a 28% increase, right? So the rate guarantee, luckily with Cigna, is under rate guarantee until 2026. The city is looking at adding orthodontia coverage, which would be a great benefit, whether it be for children only or children and adults. So that's something that we're going to look at in the coming days, make a final decision there.
May I ask about that Delta Dental?
Yeah.
I know when we changed last year, we used to have, oh, here she comes. We used to have Delta Dental, and then when we went with Cigna, there are dental offices in Branson that don't accept, excuse me, that we couldn't use.
Correct.
No, they used Delta, and the Cigna was much higher.
Correct.
And then I thought our previous rep worked a deal out where the insurance covered the same rates as Delta Dental.
Pretty close to
Yeah,
Delta. I don't think it's quite there. Like, I think you'll have an out-of-pocket cost of $10 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it was
Because
minimal.
it's one dental office in town, right, that is kind of the primary provider in Branson, is my understanding. He is locked into dental, or to Delta, and won't allow Cigna to be in network with them. So it's Branson Dental.
yeah, okay. I didn't realize it was only just that one.
Yeah. The rest of the dentists we're not having so much of a struggle with. It's just truly that one dentist office. So we've tried to kind of work with their office as well and not had much luck. So
Fair enough.
I can't move that too much, other
Fair
than
enough.
all of you going and complaining when you go see him or asking him, right, to maybe consider accepting other insurance. I have looked at the network, and it's really not super tight. I mean, there's plenty of options in the Branson area, and if you're willing to even get out of Branson just a tiny bit, there's even more. Not all the way to Springfield even, but like into Ozark, there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 dentists in Ozark even that are covered.
Okay,
So I think the network is really strong. It's just that one in particular
Got it.
dentist office.
thank you so much
you're
for that.
And we will market again, definitely for 2026, and things could change, you know. But just right now, it just looks like Cigna's the only viable option. Yep. Okay. All right, and that is all I had. I have an appendix here. Here's our Lockton's reforecast for the current plan year, and then our projections. So you can see this is a very high-level summary of our underwriting calculation, but you can see your reforecast, which means we project what your plan will end up looking like at the end of this year, which is only in a month and a half, which is a 20.6% increase. And then the 2025 projection I mentioned earlier is a 31.1% increase, which is what we're projecting. Luckily, you have a 4.7% renewal increase, but. And And then here's just the Cigna rates, the current 2024 rates compared with the 2025 renewal. There's a lot of numbers on this slide, but I just put that in the appendix in case we needed it. All right, Haley, anything else? Okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you all for your time. It was nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions?
I know, I mean, this, on our budget, this line item is significant.
Correct.
If I'm not mistaken, we're north of 3 million,
Correct.
right?
We're close to 4.
Closer to 4 now. So for a $4 million line item on our budget, to increase by
0.7?
4.7, I believe we had budgeted 10%.
Correct. That's correct.
That is a huge savings from our budget. And you should take a bow, Haley.
Well, and part of that too is, you know, Kim and I really digging into the plan itself and trying to find ways to, again, not impact our employees so much that they would be upset, but try to help them be better stewards of how they're using the plan. That's truly our goal. What I didn't mention too is that Cigna did, we get a health and wellness budget from Cigna. They've increased that by $5,000, which puts us at $30,000 for the year. We do utilize every penny of that if we're able to. And this year, you know, after we get utilization from the end of the year and, you know, what areas we really need to focus on, that's where we'll spend those dollars, is helping educate our people to be healthier in those specific areas. So when you see us doing the water challenges and, you know, walking challenges and all of that, it's to get you up and get you moving, right? In hopes that long-term, you know, we're having a healthier workforce, which isn't increasing our rates so significantly. So that's truly the goal. I'm very grateful for that money with Cigna, that we can provide some of those things and really try to get our people involved. So that's how we're going to hope to spend those dollars.
Yeah, I see this, our whole insurance plan, I see it as a huge benefit for our employees.
Absolutely.
Comparing what the city offers versus many others, this is top tier.
Absolutely.
Have you had any discussions with employees of these increases for this year?
Not yet.
Okay.
So this is really, I mean, we just finished yesterday, right? Getting rates in and finalizing some things. So no, we haven't had that opportunity yet at all. You know, we were kind of in a tight timeline,
Sure,
of course,
sure.
with the end of the year coming. So no, unfortunately we haven't, but we will. I mean, all of this will come out to them, of course, with plenty of communication. You know, there's always that option for them to have a zero-cost plan anyway as an employee, so they always have that option. The city takes on, you know, a lot of that burden on their behalf, but we will make sure that that's communicated out to them.
Haley, are there, sorry.
That's okay.
Are there incentives such as wellness benefits through Cigna? For instance, health challenges. I know that we do them here in-house.
Yeah.
But through Cigna itself, do they have like rewards, like a rewards program for certain things?
They do? I don't think so. I mean, I think we've dug around. We work with the Cigna reps. Do you want to come talk? How about we let Kim talk on that part, because she apparently knows more than I do about that. Go for it.
They do have wellness challenges, and they send emails out to our employees with different options and different challenges that they have going on, as well as giving us some dollars to do them in-house. We have probably a lot more participation in the in-house ones than the ones through Cigna, but they still do try to communicate directly to our employees with that.
Right. So I know with my former health plan and my present health plan now, I got so many points. I could acquire points and then go shopping and buy whatever I wanted. They had a huge catalog of goods. And as a surplus, there was an incentive for not using and coming below your deductible. So I got a chunk of money back at the end of the year. Did we have anything like that with Cigna?
Yeah, so Cigna, so that would have to be administered internally with the city, with Cigna's partnership, but that's definitely something that Lockton would like to look at for the city in early 2025.
But I would be very much in favor of that. It is a huge incentive.
Yes, it is, for sure. Yep.
I can't say, we do push people to at least go get their annual checkups, right? So meet with their primary care physician. So in order for you to actually get that 100% covered insurance cost as an employee, we require that you meet with your physician annually and have blood work done, and that you are a non-tobacco user. So in order to get that, so we're trying to provide some incentives there, but absolutely, we'll look into what we can tap into for next year. That sounds really cool. Thank you.
In addition to challenges like walking, swimming, are there like classes offered that where you bring someone in and they talk about diet, brain function, behavior, and all of that?
Yes, so we do all of those things. So not only just the physical, actual challenges, but we do have people that come in and talk about healthy eating habits. We did a presentation this year on why you shouldn't drink energy drinks. We need mental health awareness things. So yes, again, we try to take wherever we're seeing that high utilization come in on our plan and really focus those efforts and that education in that way, which is partly the energy drink presentation, right? Was to focus on your heart health and your kidneys and all of those other things that those might cause some damage to. So we really try again to tap into what we see as a need and focus on that. But yes, we're trying to utilize every resource we possibly can. Our prior broker had someone that would come and speak for us, and we'll start tapping into Lockton's resources this year.
Quick question. Have you guys, I'm assuming, looked at the demographics of our employee base? And do you project, I mean, we've had several retirements just this year alone, so we've got some younger people coming into our workforce. But we've also got, are we starting to creep up into, in the next year or two, seeing higher utilization rates just given the demographics?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so, and Cigna will provide a whole demographic and utilization report that's very detailed once we have 12 months of data. So here at the end of January, we'll get that utilization report, and then we'll be able to tap into that and see what programs make sense for the city and where we want to focus our time, energy, and dollars.
Haley, you've done a phenomenal job.
It's just all this team that's behind me, right? It's not me, it's all of them too. So, but thank you.
I meant to say Kim.
There you go. It's all Kim.
Very appreciative. I know Candace had a question. We talked earlier about property insurance. So Candace, would you just get with Haley after this meeting or, to talk about property?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
Any other questions or comments? We are very pleased.
Thank you.
I really trust that our employees will see all this as a positive. Insurance is just out of this world. But if there's no other questions, did you have anything?
Candace.
Could you please keep us apprised of the new things that are coming down the pike via email? Just let us
Absolutely.
know the incentives, et cetera.
Yeah.
So that we can kind of brainstorm if this committee can help also with some of those challenges and suggest some of those things. And of course, I'd like to point out in our marination of all this, as we think about this, we have a distinct dichotomy of folks. We have the people, of course, Leos are the exception. They have to meet their physical challenges. So they're naturally going to be incentivized in some other way to work out and to stay fit and to meet their weight goals. The real target area, in my humble opinion, when we talk about incentives in preventive care and health and wellness, would be not only women with those challenges with mammograms and the BSEP, the whole area of that BSEP concept, but also the weight challenge for those who don't get to get out and wrestle people to the ground and do their PT. So that would seem to be something that we really need to target, I would think, because they don't get the opportunity.
So we've done a walking challenge, a trail challenge, and we're currently in a weight loss challenge. So those are just some that we've done this year. So we, are trying to teach you some good habits along the way, and then really with an end goal of getting some weight off, right? So we've hopefully gotten you in the habit of walking more, getting up from your desk, getting out and exploring our trails right here in Branson, because we have tons of them. And drinking more water, because it's such an important part of what you're doing. So we're really trying again to hone in those efforts in those places that we hope will make an impact. Anything we can do again to get you up and moving from your desk, we're gonna try to do. So that's really where our challenge focus will be. Yeah, of course.
So you're suggesting during our Board of Aldermen meetings, we'll do the pledge, the prayer, and jumping jacks?
Perfect. Or we just stand the whole time. They'd go a lot faster if we all just stood.
Oh, remove our chairs?
Yeah, and all of these.
And all of those. That's funny. Okay, well, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
We do have,
Kim?
we have to approve the minutes
Yes.
from last meeting.
Oh.
There's that other thing, yeah.
Very good. Be careful. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Am I missing anything else? That's good? I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you very, very
Very
much.
welcome.